Wellness Wednesday. Debra Dixon-Anderson here. So excited to be on this Wellness Wednesday so we can talk about a special topic. Hey, Tina, I see you. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. We got to talk. Yes, yes. So our topic today is going to be about seasonal depression. And how many of you know that you can get seasonal depression during the summertime? I know it's right. So let's talk a little bit. I'm just going to share a little bit about Go Wellness Circle. I've been sharing our exciting news that Go Wellness Circle is now an official nonprofit, a 501c3. Go visit our website, goldwellnesscircle.com, and you'll see that we've changed a little bit. We have some of our events, but we are looking for board members. We also have our donation button because we're going to be raising funds to continue our work for Alzheimer's, breast cancer, and our third pillar is food insecurity. But we love sharing about self-care. We love doing these webinars, these Wellness Wednesdays. We love sharing information and resources for those of you who are taking care of a elderly loved one or who is in the battle for breast cancer. I've gone through that. I'm 5 years breast cancer free. We have a lot of really phenomenal resources and some great upcoming events. So October, we always celebrate women's wellness for as we have some breast cancer awareness events. We're working on a women's retreat in March 2024 to Panama. And our guest for our next Wellness Wednesday in 2 weeks, put it on your calendar, will be Layla. She'll be on with us again. And we'll be talking about planning your vacations, how to de-stress, not to get stressed out with your vacations. And she's partnering with us to bring our women's business and wellness retreat to Panama. So you don't want to miss that. Just 2 weeks from today, you want to be on our next Wellness Wednesday. So we hope you can join us then. I believe that will be the 16th. So join us for that. So let's hop into our topic. Seasonal depression. What is it? What exactly is that, right? Seasonal affective disorder most commonly occurs in the late fall and the early winter month, and it ends in spring. Symptoms usually include trouble sleeping, weight loss, loss of appetite, anxiety. But seasonal depression can also strike in the summertime. It can happen. So what can cause seasonal depression in the summertime? Some of it could be caused by the schedule change because the days are longer. The days now end longer, although I don't know if you've noticed, they've been getting shorter and shorter, right? So our days are now starting to go in the other direction as we prepare for the fall season. Let's talk about some seasonal occupations like being a teacher. They may feel out of sorts sometimes due to the loss of structure in the summer. I don't know about you, but sometimes I even get thrown off when my schedule changes. And sometimes that can cause a little bit of anxiety. Even slight changes can impact your mental health. So those are some things that can actually impact just your schedule being changed. For office workers, the workflow might change. If other people are out, you may be doing extra work to compensate. All of that can add a little bit of anxiety. So that's seasonal depression can happen in the summertime. That's one of the causes is schedule changes. Vacations. Let's talk a little bit about vacations. We'll be bringing Layla back on with us to talk about. She's from Black Diamond Group. Affinity Group, and we'll be talking about vacations and stress and stuff like that. Typically, you think of vacations as relaxing and calming, but for some people, they can cause a lot of anxiety and stress. You may worry about spending too much money while on vacation, and being with certain family members could be difficult or stressful. So actually, vacations could be the cause of some stress. So we have to look at ways for it not to be stressful, right? How can it not be stressful? And usually planning ahead does help with de-stressing and not allowing vacation time to be a stressful time. I know for me and Rick, me and my husband Rick, when we vacation, we're together for 7 days straight together. Look, he's retired now. We look forward to spending time together, but sometimes it may be too much time. We need a little bit of break from each other. So we plan ahead. Okay, what are we going to do with our days? This might be a good spa day for you. It might be a good time for me to go to the casino. It might be a good time for me to do this, to go in a hot tub, whatever it is. And we plan to do some activities separately, just because we're not used to like being together like that, full time every day. We enjoy our time together, but we do have to make sure that we plan some individual separate time. So, and sometimes you have to look at doing that for your vacations with family members. You're not around them all the time. And whether it's your kids, mom, dad, grandparents, whoever they are, you do need to incorporate a little bit of break time if you're on vacation so that you're not always together all the time. Now, some families don't have that problem at all, and it's not a problem. They could be together more often because maybe there's less issues and they enjoy their time together because they don't live in the same city or the same state, but not everybody's family dynamic is the same. So, just kind of keep that in mind. Daylight patterns. I don't know about you, but we're in the Northeast. I'm in New Jersey. I know people who are watching this, you could be anywhere in the country or outside the country. Daylight patterns can really mess with your schedule. I love when the sun rises earlier, but initially it does throw me off a little bit. So when it's now light at 5:30 and when daylight savings time kicks in and then it's really 6:30, that throws me off a little bit. But it also throws me off when the sun rises early initially in the spring, late spring, early summer. It throws me off just a little bit. So longer summer hours can throw people off. So you have to kind of compensate for that. Maybe plan to get extra sleep. Your sleep schedules may be impacted. So how are you going to deal with that? So we'll talk about some solutions in a moment. Social events during the summertime. Social events are held most of the time, could be daytime, weekends, evenings. Sometimes anxiety can come from that. Peer pressure with alcohol, feelings of pressure, to have a summer body, all the pressures that sometimes we deal with. Maybe you put on extra couple of pounds and you're not prepared for, summertime and wearing your bikini, as I'm channeling Serena. Where's your bikini? So, and maybe you're not ready for that. Some of us feel a little body shaming. I mean, you got to love the skin that you're in, regardless of what your body shape is. Just love the skin that you're in, regardless. And we're all works in progress. So the weight loss isn't going to happen overnight. It takes time, but there is sometimes peer pressure. People go through body shaming now. It's just a different time in our world and in our country. So you have to find ways to just combat that. One of them is just to have self-esteem and make sure that you love yourself regardless of, whether you're 20 or 40 pounds heavier or not. We're all works in progress. We're all spirits on a journey, right? So how can you handle these different changes and feelings? How do you handle all of this? So make sleep a priority. Oh my gosh, that preaching to the choir right now. Sleep for me, especially being a breast cancer survivor, I definitely have insomnia. It's an ugly thing. I will be honest with you. If I fall asleep in the evening, I could, take a nap or a power nap, and sometimes I try not to do that because then I might be up very, very late until, 12, 1, 2 o'clock. And then I'll go to sleep and I'll be back up at 6 o'clock. And so that's, Rick is always telling me, my husband Rick always tells me about broken sleep. He's always concerned for me that I have so much broken sleep. And so just making sleep a priority and being consistent. I love what my friend Tony, we've had him on these wellness lives before. He's a phenomenal life coach. He does our meditation calls and everything. We'll have him back again as a guest. He always talks about having a ritual for preparing for sleep, and your ritual can't include your phone being on constantly, or being that accessible, or checking your social media into the wee hours of the morning. You have to be able to shut it down so that you can have that ritual of coming down and getting some rest, getting some sleep. So, establishing a summer routine, and sticking to it, like a consistent routine, can help someone feel more motivated and put together. I know for me, with my workout schedule, my work schedule, my team schedule, all the schedules that I navigate, my doctor's appointments, the whole thing, everything has to be in a calendar. If I see that I have a lot of appointments coming at me, something sometimes has to come off the table or be moved to another day so that I don't have too many things packed into one day. So I really try to make sure that I'm mindful and intentional about my schedule. Sometimes we make these appointments months in advance, and then new things come up, that are more recent, and it can throw your schedule off, your routine off a little bit. So if you can get in the habit of kind of looking to see, okay, what is coming up, making sure, number one, you're putting things into a calendar and that's connected to your phone and that you're checking it. I try to check my calendar like a week ahead or 2 weeks ahead, because sometimes down the road there's new appointments that maybe I could react a little bit better to. And then there's other things that have been on the schedule that I need to be mindful of. And I just totally forgot about. Those doctor's appointments that you make a year in advance, and then something else came up, maybe a social event or something came up maybe recently. Sometimes that could impact your schedule and throw things off for you a little bit. So making sure you're staying consistent, looking at your calendar, looking at your schedule, having some kind of a routine, kind of makes you, de-stresses you a lot. Avoid depression traps. Eating when you're bored but not hungry. How many of you do that? Nobody, right? I'm gonna raise my hand. I do it. So, eating when you're bored but not hungry, you have to be very careful about that. That's what puts those extra pounds on. Blaming yourself constantly, don't do that. Don't shame yourself. Forget about other people shaming you. Don't shame yourself. Playing video games, looking at games on your phone for hours and hours, spending a lot of time browsing on your phone, your laptop. It's good to decompress, to breathe, to meditate, to close your eyes, to read a book. I don't know about you, but sometimes reading a book for me feels like a little bit of a vacation because it takes me away from my phone. So doing something like that, or being social and engaging with people in real time, is really good. Taking a social media break. Wow. That's a loaded suggestion, right? Taking a social media break. Now I know we're on social media now, so I'm doing this live on social media, but taking a social media break and not being quite as connected can be very helpful. This video is going to be repurposed and put on Go Wellness Circle under our Wellness Wednesday link. You could always look at it. If you can't join me live and you need a social media break, that's fine. You could do that. But sometimes when you're too connected, you're looking at other people's pages, other people's Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, or LinkedIn. Overexposure to social media can lead to a lot of feelings of loneliness, depression, and anxiety, and you need to take a break, and connect with people in real time. Go to a social event, where you could just decompress and disconnect. Body positive self-talk is really important. I find that's very important for me. Like I said before, body issues can be a problem. Summer body, that causes a lot of anxiety, especially for women. And just making sure your self-talk to yourself is positive. It should be positive. You should practice self-love and positive self talk. So activities in the summer, there's so many of them. Picnics. I love picnics. I love reading books. If you can paint, sometimes those paint and sips are great to go to. Daily walks. I rode my bike this morning. I love doing that. Getting out in nature, breathing the air. Hopefully, if the air quality is good, we've been having air quality problems over the past couple of weeks because of the fires in Canada. So, just being careful about the air, but, being outside around green grass and wonderful green trees can really help. There's local farmers markets, the beach, which I love. Hopefully I will get to this week. The pool, been spending a lot of time in the water. A garden where you can work with your hands. There's a lot of wonderful community gardens. On Meetup and Facebook, there's a bunch of events to go to where you can connect with people in real time. Music, concerts, there's always something to go to. And you know what? Some people don't like to go alone, but when you go to an event, even if you go by yourself, you won't be alone. There are people there, and it's a good way to meet new people. So keep yourself productive. It keeps the seasonal depression at bay. Have yourself a routine. Do something small every day to combat seasonal depression, because it does happen to a lot of us, and it can really help you with your overall mental well-being. So that's everything that I have. Hopefully this was helpful. I'm always looking for comments. I'm waving at people. Fortunately, I don't see any comments, and I'm sorry if you posted a comment and I just don't see it, but I always like to respond back if I see a comment that you posted. I will message you back as well. But thank you, everybody, for looking at today's Wellness Wednesday on seasonal depression. We'll be back on Wellness Wednesday in 2 weeks, which will be August 16th. Layla will be my guest from Black Diamond Affinity Group. We'll be talking about stress and vacations and how to plan. We'll talk a little bit about our Women's History Month, Women's Retreat. We'll talk a little bit about that. And I'll see you soon. If you want to be a guest on Wellness Wednesday, just go to gowellnesscircle.com and go to our How to Get Involved button. Go down to Wellness Wednesday and go ahead and fill out the form. We'd love to have you as a guest. Our Marketing Monday will be this coming Monday. So if you have a business or you're an entrepreneur, join us for Marketing Monday, which is coming up on Monday. And I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.